I'm going.
Penis.
Penis along the tells.
It's. Do I open up the Gatorade or the Yoo-Hoo first, gentlemen?
I'm gonna. I was also gonna say Yoo-Hoo.
It's unanimous.
Fuck Gatorade.
Hey,
Gatorade's delicious.
Gatorade is good.
Body armor is arguably better, but it's also more expensive.
Yeah, I like body armor not as much as Gatorade. I feel like I like Gatorade more of those things.
Body armor tastes like actual fruit. Is the thing.
Gatorade tastes like concepts.
It does. It tastes like abstract concepts and colors, not fruit.
It tastes like what men's shampoo is. You know what I mean?
It's just men's like what's the word I'm looking for? Hygiene in general. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
You get all these weird names like ash and coal.
Gunsmoke and
Cool
bourbon
Glacier.
or something.
Well, bourbon at least, Gunsmoke and bourbon actually has an identifiable smell.
Yeah, but Gunsmoke stinks.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You ever
gotta
shot
be
a shotgun
man.
and then smelled the
Yes.
empty shell? Like, that shit's nasty.
You know,
I
had
like
a,
the smell,
That-
but I'm a weirdo.
For some reason, men want to smell like dog shit.
Because men are weird.
I mean, yes. Oh shoot, there was this one time. God, what was it? It was like this body wash or something. I think it was called Noir, and it smelled like Noir. I don't know
Smells
how
like a
else to
40s
say
cop.
it just smells like I don't know why or how it did, but it smelled like that. I don't know what else that I'm supposed to say to mean that, I guess.
This is delicious.
All right, good news is, boys, I came up with my topics for today's episode in the past minute. So we're good on that front.
Nice.
Welcome to the Bloomfield podcast, by the way.
I was gonna do that. We were just
Well, you
having
for sure took your
pleasantries.
fucking time doing it, now didn't you?
I don't know. I don't know.
That,
I'm
like
just
2
playing
minutes
it
of
off the cuff
preamble
here.
needs to get cut probably anyway.
No. I don't think Nathan ever cuts the preamble anymore anyway. Like, regardless. I think
No,
all
I
of it's
mean,
made
like-
it in now.
I wouldn't
fun.
know. I don't fucking listen to this damn thing.
Special guest star, my cat. Hello, kitty.
Yeah.
You want to say something to the... Oh, you're just going to run across the table where my mic is. All right.
Yeah, so
hear
big
breathing, that's
announcement,
her.
guys. Logan's cat's actually be taking my place on the podcast. I'm going on a
She has a lot to
spiritual journey in the Middle East.
You have a lot to say, don't you, baby?
Why the
I don't
Middle
think she's
East?
going to say anything. Interesting choice there, Dylan. Why not just go, like to Japan or something? If you're going to go all the way to the Middle East, you might as well just, go somewhere in Asia.
I don't know. I feel like it'd be cool to see the pyramids and shit. Maybe fucking
That is-
die.
That's like
Yeah.
going to California. It's nice to see, but why would you ever want to live there?
I'm not living there. I'm going there to die.
Oh, well. I
That's
mean,
what he meant by spiritual journey.
Goodbye, kitty. No, I want to die. It depends on the day. I want to die somewhere where no one will ever find me, or I want to die like in the place where everyone will find me.
Like,
Just depends.
just like spear yourself on the top of the torch of the Statue of Liberty or something.
I don't think anyone I know would find me there, unless I make the news and it's like a.
It'd be
world,
pretty
like,
base to
national event.
crucify yourself to that statue of Jesus T-posing in Rio de Janeiro.
That
Or
would
I
be
could
cool.
I could also just crucify myself in my own church because we have some crosses put up.
You could.
Hey, Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today.
Here's the thing. I don't want to
God.
suffer. I don't want to suffer when I die because I've suffered through life enough. My death should be swift.
Nah, I don't
So,
give a shit either
I'd-
way. Fucking skin me. Turn me into a handbag.
I mean that's your prerogative, Dylan. But I'm not a sub. So
I'm not a
what-
sub
how does
either.
that
I'm a
come in?
switch. Not like
what
it
all
matters
subs say.
to the fucking audience.
No, yeah, you don't need to know.
They don't need to know our fucking positions. That said, Nathan's a sub, I'm a switch, and Logan claims to be a dom. But none of us get bitches anyway, so it doesn't matter.
It's like it matters.
don't-
No, no one gives a shit.
I've not claimed anything.
You've claimed not to be a sub or a switch. That leaves one thing left.
I'm the fourth option.
Um,
Yeah, I mean yeah.
Thank you, censor bleep. Fuck, what the fuck, dude? All right. Anyway, after a bunch of just random nonsense, hello everybody, and welcome to the Bloomfeld podcast about nothing but sometimes something. And we've been very inconsistent recently because everyone's been on vacation and shit happens.
Don't say everyone. You have been on vacation.
No, I've been on vacation too.
Okay,
That's why we
so
didn't have an episode.
that's not
before the
everyone,
Doctor Strange
though.
one.
I ain't
That's
been doing
2/3.
shit. I've been fucking here ready to record whenever.
Look, 2/3. You round up, Dylan.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
It's 66. That's practically passing.
Dear
That's an
audience,
A.
we're recording at 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. now because our lives are fucking meaningless, and this recording schedule. We don't even have a schedule anymore. It's just like sometimes it's like,
Well, we're
hey,
trying
can
to
we
fix
record
that.
this day,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Well,
yeah.
We'll get it worked out soon enough.
No, we won't.
So, anyway, fellas, how's it been since we last met?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, I mean, it always is. Just give me something.
Well, I mean, I went to the Amish country a couple weeks ago, like Memorial Day weekend, and I gotta say, not a fan of the Amish. As a
Fuck
people,
'em.
they're fine, but like the location and the lifestyle, and having a house to sleep in with no TV.
And the oppression of women.
Also that.
Well, you know, I mean, they can leave whenever they want to, I guess, but
I mean,
I'm not an
yes
Amish
and
fan.
no.
Yes and no. Yeah, okay. So it's basically like every situation that involves the oppression of women. They can leave, but they can't. Gotcha.
You can
It's
leave,
set-
but I mean, you got what the hell are you gonna do?
That's an excellent. Oh gosh, I didn't mean for this to take such a turn. Wow, this is.
We're really
Is
not
it-
good at not being sad.
It has been 7.5 minutes of just fucking doomer posting.
Okay, so basically, not a fan of the lifestyle exactly.
Yeah.
Ignoring what Dylan just took us down.
Hey, I was adding to my distaste for their lifestyle.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. It's just, you know, look, any ladies watching this podcast or listening, I should say,
There
don't
won't
join the
be.
Amish.
You have full right just to beat me with a handbag or whatever you got in public. I
Okay,
won't stop you.
Nathan, you're literally just airing out your fucking sub shit again.
I
So-
know.
Hit
I
with
just,
handbags.
I thought that it was a lot of fun going up there and seeing the culture. And I'm glad we didn't stay that long because honestly, the best part about it was going up to New Philadelphia and checking out some of the stores and stuff like that. That was more fun than really the Amish. Because we went because my mom wanted to go. And she was thoroughly disappointed. And she's like, yeah, we're never going back.
Oh.
So it's a shame because she was really looking forward to it. She wanted to do that forever, and she was pretty upset by it. But it's all right. We had fun. We made it something out of nothing. So yeah, and they had Frontier Internet, which, as you can imagine, made things very difficult when I had nothing to do in the house and I'm just like scrolling my phone, and then it just decides to not work.
I mean, my favorite thing about the Amish is especially in this format, you can talk as much shit as you want to, then they'll overhear it. Like,
Well,
there's
that's
no
the thing.
way.
Actually, no. Hold on. There are Amish people who use technology.
They're not Amish then.
No, they're called Meta-Knights,
Oh,
like the Kirby dude.
I was gonna say the guy from Kirby.
Yeah, well, not technically this. Not Meta, more like Mena.
Men.
Yeah, Mennonites.
Not Meta, Mennonites. They're Amish people that actually use technology and such. Very limited amount. But, like, our neighbor had a dish satellite on the top of his TV, so
I mean,
I'm
hold
assuming
on.
he's Amish.
Can Amish people use guns?
I don't think the regular, like, your average Amishman or woman does.
They probably have a flintlock just in case.
Yeah, you gotta keep the flintlocky on you. You know.
It just depends on the division of Amish people, I think. But,
Maybe. I mean, I would love to
let's
just
see.
roll up on Jebediah and he's strapped with the Glock. That would just make me laugh before I die.
I think other than that, I've had 6 mental breakdowns since then.
Only 6? Those are rookie numbers.
Well, 6. It's been a pretty good couple weeks actually. So I mean, only 6 is a new record for me. Like in terms of like lowering the number.
I have
so
cried
my
nearly
golf game is
every
getting
day
there.
of the past, like, 2 weeks. Hearing Nathan
honestly-
sigh, I can just hear him saying, cut that.
Honestly, bro, I think you just try getting over it. I don't know.
Seethe and cope.
See,
Seeing it in cup, that's kind of related to one of my topics.
Yeah,
If we get to it. Nathan's gonna kick me off this podcast, but it'll be worth it.
it's gonna be. I don't know when. I don't know, but one day. All right, yeah, we'll go ahead and get to it. So let me take out my phone real quick. We'll go ahead and call out numbers.
let's
One.
see, number three.
All right, so I'm 2.
Yeah,
I
you're
think
the
I picked
poopy.
3 a lot. That happens a lot now.
All right, so it's number 2.
All right,
Dylan.
poopy. What
Or
you,
no,
let's
it's
see,
Nathan,
what
Nathan,
you got,
Nathan.
poopy?
That is what you got, poopster. Huh? Let's see. What do I got in my shit? Have I not?
It
put in
took a
a
lot out of
topic
me
in a
not to
while?
say "and something."
And what?
Because you said it, you said something shit, and I said there was a pause right after you said it. It was the perfect time. And
Shut up! All of you, shut up! I swear to God,
I will not be silenced.
I am going to end you.
Do it. I don't care. Did you not hear what I said 2 minutes ago?
I mean, yeah,
No
that's
fucking
true.
threat matters to me.
You know, you can always relinquish your time, Nathan.
Shit. I mean, I can, but do I wanna? Wait. Oh, come on.
Oh no. Get
Uh,
away from my yoo-hoo. Get away.
All right, I found it. This one's an old one. I had this one in like a month ago, but I never got to use it. All right, so every now and again, you just can't take it, and not in the depressing way. Let me finish. let me finish.
So let's theoretically say that everything was fine.
So let's just every now and again you're just like no, right? So basically, this topic is I'm putting my fucking foot down, right? That's basically the prompt here.
Oh yeah, it's just
So I have an
Just no.
example,
okay.
and this is for me personally. This is an example. So, it's a saying. It's a saying that people use and is like 99% accepted. But I have
boy.
a small problem with it in certain degrees.
Okay.
Is it I could care less?
No, not
That
that
one
one.
pisses me off. My mom uses that, and I
Yeah.
can't get her. I can't get her to understand. I mean, she knows it's wrong, but I think she just keeps doing it to piss me off.
Keeps doing it.
Speaking's hard, dude. It's okay.
It is.
All right. So the phrase is let people enjoy things.
Okay.
So here's the deal.
Let people enjoy. What's the deal?
So here's the deal with that phrase. It comes with the qualifiers like as long as it's safe and like not illegal, right? I can think
Yes.
of a good chunk of things that are technically safe, for the most part, are safe and legal, but I still don't think people should partake or enjoy, okay? I'm just going to be honest here, right?
Okay.
Well, like alcohol.
Like, I mean, I don't really give not much about alcohol now. If
That's
you're
because
drinking
Nathan's an
excessively, then-
alcoholic.
I was just...
Actually, no. I'm the alcoholic. Nathan's the druggie.
That's true.
I use heroin. Like it's like certain fetishes and shit, or it's just let people enjoy things. Like I don't care. I really don't care. If you're into getting a Cleveland steamer plomped on you, no.
I mean, but here's the thing, Nathan. Is it really your business
putting
what
my
people
fucking
do
foot down.
behind closed doors with consent as adults?
Like I just
Well, here's the thing, Dylan. There are some people out there that don't really see that as a private act, because it's weird. Because like years ago, before our time, like sex was one of those things that was always hush hush behind closed doors. Nowadays, sex is kind of more widely accepted, and now that it is, like, there's more of these different like fetishes and stuff that are just kind of out in the open, like.
Well,
It
yeah,
hasn't
it's out in
happened
the
to me.
open.
It hasn't happened to me yet. But I dread the day when someone just casually drops their into scat while I'm at work. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
I've heard those kind of stories. Like people will be working at retail or whatever, and they hear like, yeah, so someone just kept talking about the wild sex they had last night. It's like, I'm not really interested.
Well,
You know,
I think
it's
that's
like
more of just people don't know personal boundaries more than like They aren't allowed. Look, you're allowed to shit on your husband's chest. I just don't want to hear about it.
I just
See-
I am just so I'm frothing at the mouth right now. I am so
See
I
them
just
cope.
I hate it. Just stop. Don't. Please. I just don't. Please. I don't want
Nathan's having an aneurysm.
Really
I
is.
just stop shitting on each other in bed. It's not right. Stop.
It's not your business. What are you, the Charmin bear? Why you got such an interest in shitting?
It's just it's awful. I hate it. It's
The shit warden. Look, I'm very much I'm in a similar boat, Nathan. I'm just not as, I guess I don't think about it as much as you do. At least I'm assuming.
yeah.
Because I'll agree, there are some fetishes out there that I'm just like, yeah, no. Scats being like, scats up there. There's
Yeah.
just some things you just don't do. To me, that's
Yeah.
just. I'm sorry, that's fucking gross.
So
You're
I'm just
gross.
putting
Don't touch me.
putting my foot down in a world of acceptance and love that I do want. I'm not saying that I don't want that. There are just certain things that I will still vehemently judge you for because it's just plain fucking wrong. Despite the about what some
it's
people
nasty.
can say, it's just like, God, don't stop taking shits on each other.
Honestly,
Fuck
I
it.
thought this was gonna go in a completely different direction. I thought we were about to shit on a fandom of some kind, and I was like, "Oh boy, this is gonna start a flame war."
A fandom.
But,
Okay, I'm gonna
well,
put
you
my
said-
foot
well,
down.
you're-
Legend of Zelda sucks.
I'll kill you.
No,
I will
Zelda's-
fucking.
Okay,
I will
Zelda's
turn your
good. I'm
skin
joking.
into a
Dude,
handbag.
Come on, Zelda's
I'm
good.
joking. I'm joking. That was just an example. But
Oh, it's like, bro, it's like you
Nah.
can't shit on Zelda.
all right.
Even
so
if you
basically,
don't like it, like
Yeah.
Zelda fans
I
are
was
some
gonna
of the
say,
coolest
Nathan,
around.
if you were being serious, I was gonna skin you and turn your skin into a colostomy bag just so I
No.
could shit on you.
Nah, props to Zelda fans. Props to Zelda fans because I rarely see any It's like the Mario fandom. They are just happy to be here. They just want to wait until the next game comes out. So I know that's not the case with like every single Zelda fan in history, but like shout outs to you guys. You guys are awesome. Keep being patient.
keep being cool. Anyway, I'm curious on what you guys have, where it's just like people have either crossed the line and you can't fucking take it, or it's just you are set and you will not change your mind on something. You're putting your foot down. I want to know.
It's a tricky one because there's a couple of things that I'm just like no on, and generally it's just kind of like not being upfront sometimes. Not I don't know. It's weird to explain. Like I feel like I have a smaller fuse these days and less patience for like when people beat around the bushes. Like, okay, just come out with it, tell me what's wrong, and let's deal with it. And I feel like this is an important thing to have in a person. You just need to be able to talk about shit. But I'm in a similar boat with you, Nathan. Like, there's just some fetishes and shit like that. Like, stuff that should be kept hush-hush that I'm just not cool with. Even if it is, like, in the privacy of your home. I don't care. It's fucking gross, and I'm definitely judging you for it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's another thing that I'm gonna put my foot down on, and it's just like, fucking people are judgy, and people will judge you, and it's gonna happen. And there's some things that I think deserve to be judged. 'Cause that's the thing, especially with how the negative connotation of judgment. Judgment has a very strong power of being able to deter people from doing messed up and fucked up shit that ain't right just because the public opinion deems it wrong and you will be murdered socially for it. I feel like that's important.
That's the thing. There are just people out there that do not care about what people think of them that much. And, that's fine. It's just, if you're doing some really weird shit and stuff like that, and then you're going to complain people are judging. Okay, this is going to go down a weird road, but it's kind of like thruples, triple couples. People get weird looks when there's three people of whatever gender or whatever holding hands and kissing and stuff like that. Three ways, basically, without the sex. And it's like, yeah, you're not normal. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing, but like you're in such a minority group of people that, yeah, that's weird. That's out there. And again, nothing wrong with that, but people are going to look at you weird because that's not what people normally do. Again, nothing wrong, just not the norm. And sorry, but that's just how it is. Like, people are mean. You know, people are assholes. They're gonna judge. They're gonna look at you weird. There's gonna be whispers. As long as it isn't violent, then I would just, say fuck them and move on. I think I trailed off there a little bit. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. There are just some things out there that people don't do, and like where I put my foot down is when it's just I put my foot down when it just gets too fucking weird, like like furries. I put my foot down at furries. No, I'm good. To me, like I get it. It's just sort of like it's almost like I don't know if you exactly call it a sexuality and of its own. It's a fetish certainly, and it's like just kind of a type of. It's kind of like a part of that person's personality. I'm sorry. I don't like it. And my cat is scratching the fuck out of that door. Hold on just a second.
My man! I hear you talk about furries.
Okay, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, furries. So, not exactly saying they're bad people. I'm just not a fan. I'm sorry. To me, it's like, you say you're furry, and I'm like, okay, so you just want to fuck my dog? No, get away from my dog. Be gone.
Stay away from my puppy.
Bad. I'm going to spray you with a water bottle and whack you with a newspaper, and you're going to get in a cage, and you're going to sit there until I feel like letting you out. Go away. You're going to the pound.
You're going to the pound.
You're going to the pound. I'm calling animal control on you because you just shat on my car.
I'm calling the police.
I don't know. To me, furry stuff is just, it's not anything wrong with you guys or anything like that. It's just, to me, that is, no, I'll pass.
I feel like this became too much about just like fetishes we don't like.
Well, I think because we are, well, I don't know. I mean, obviously Dylan's not, but me and Nathan kind of tolerate a lot. At least I do.
Yeah. I mean, understandable. It's kind of a thing where, like, me and Logan are not super upfront about what we don't like, especially to, like, strangers and whatnot, because you try not to come off as super negative, I guess. I know Dylan doesn't give a shit, but...
I really don't.
Yeah, but me and Logan tried to be as positive as possible, despite the fact that I wasn't exactly call us positive people at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, at the end, but that's the important part, though, Nathan. It's like, what about this is going to bug me at the end of my day? Like, 5 seconds from now, is this going to bother me? It's like, your regular average things that, like, the most uptight people get worked up about. It's like, I don't really care because it doesn't affect me. But if you're, when it comes to the stuff we put our foot down on, it's like, if you're going to ask me, like, if someone's asking me if I'm into furries, or someone's asking you if you're into scat, or vice versa, we're both going to be like, no.
No.
I don't want to talk about it, because I don't like that. Don't want to talk about it, so either change the topic, or the conversation's done. Sorry. When you're, like, really advocating for this or that in a conversation with a human being, or, like, I don't know, say you have a partner that wants to do that stuff, I'm sorry, I'm just not into it. It's not gonna happen. Like my sister, for example, my older sister, she when we were younger, she had this real like pet peeve about me chewing food with my mouth open. I don't give a shit if you chew food with your mouth open. I don't give a fuck. I did it out of habit. Like, I didn't even realize I was doing it half the time. I truly didn't. But it got on her every last fucking nerve. I mean, she's violently angry. And knowing me, I was probably a shit about it and probably just chewed louder at points. But, like, as I got older, like teenage and stuff like that, like, I didn't realize I was doing it. But I'm sorry. I'm not trying to do it on purpose. And it just doesn't bother me. I don't care what people do while they eat. As long as they're not, like, being super loud and flopping food everywhere, then I don't care. And, she doesn't care much anymore either, but I don't know, maybe I'm not as obnoxious as I was when I was a kid. It's stuff like that I think of. Like, I don't get worked up over stupid shit like that. So, honestly, you kind of have to go pretty far for me to put my foot down. So that's honestly why we probably went down the fetish road, Dylan. Because
Right.
it's easy to judge there.
Fair point, though, you're bringing up. So, Dylan, you probably got something. I know you're a foot slamming down kind of person.
Well, on the one hand, it's
when people
like,
breathe the wrong way.
I'm of like two minds about things. Because on the one hand, I'm like, yeah, people should be allowed to enjoy things. There are some things where it's like, no, just kill yourself. But there are other things where I'm like,
Damn.
there are other things where I'm like, you're also allowed to not enjoy things. You're allowed to criticize things. I think like something that comes into play is like, yeah, like modern discussion of like TV shows and movies. It's like you're perfectly allowed to like a certain movie or TV show, but other people are allowed to not like it as well. Like, it's not like one fucking person's right and the other person's objectively wrong. It's like Friends. It's like people seem to either fucking love Friends or hate Friends. And it's not like either person's right because it's an opinion, not a fucking fact.
Are you talking about like? Are you bringing this up in reference to like that whole animation debacle thing with American animation, where it's like they gotten so lazy, they like go through a bunch of American cartoons and like Gumball, Steven Universe, and stuff like that, like have the same face, quote unquote.
Yeah, they have the like same sort of head shape and stuff. And it's like, and that's the thing is like, sometimes people I think get blinded so much by things they like that they refuse to hear even valid criticism of it. And then other times it's just like you're being a nitpicky asshole. Let people enjoy things. So it's just like, I don't know. It depends on situation to situation for me, to be honest. But a lot of the time, either way, I just don't give a shit.
I've seen a lot of discourse on Twitter about it a while back when that was first like a popular argument, like the animation thing in particular. And like to me, if the animation in Gumball stops you from watching it, you're just a fucking idiot. Just watch a Gumball. Gumball's an amazing show. That is a fantastic kids show.
Yeah,
but
I understand
that's a different topic.
a big part of what Dylan did say there that I also am going to put my foot down is let people not enjoy things. I feel like we are very focused on the fact of like if someone even gives like slight criticism or goes beyond and be like I just genuinely don't like this thing, there's just a mountain of hate and just people come up with those random excuses like, well, you don't like it because of this, you don't like it because you're an asshole or something like that. It's like maybe they didn't like it because they didn't fucking like it. I don't know what else you want. Like, just because something is at least by and large good, or hell, maybe even by and large bad, or something like that, just whatever the general reception is, the person that is throwing their opinion in should throw in their genuine opinion and not conform one way or the other. People can like things that are bad. People can hate things that are good. It doesn't matter. And I feel like people get a stick up their own ass about it, and it's annoying.
And I think, even if it is like in a joking matter, not saying any of us would ever go that far, but we've had those moments, right? Because, like Dylan and me, for example, maybe a bit, to an extent you as well, Nathan. If someone came up to us and said Star Wars Episode 9 was their favorite Star Wars film, we'd be judging. It's like, what? How?
That movie's fucking awful.
At the same time, different perspectives. People see things differently. Maybe they liked what they did in Episode 9. It's just, I just can't agree with it. But we kind of have to practice what we preach a bit, I think, because you got to be able to let people not enjoy things. But if those people who want to be allowed to not enjoy things go around and constantly shit on people who like the thing they don't like, then at that point, I'm sorry, you're not letting them enjoy their thing. You're not allowed to not like it then if they can't like it to begin with. I think is where a lot of this discourse gets a little muddy.
Yeah.
Because usually when people, like, I'm not going to name names, but I follow a guy on Twitter who's generally a bit negative about stuff. Like, he's a bit of a pessimist. And he's a big advocate for let people not enjoy things. While he does nothing but, okay, I'm not going to be that mean, but, like, he does a lot of shitting on things people like. And there's nothing wrong with giving your take, if you're being respectful about it. But there are times, like, because, text is hard to convey exactly what you mean by, like, your inflection and stuff like that when you read something. It can come off as you aren't allowed to enjoy this type of talk. So when you take that discourse online, it gets a bit muddy. But I do agree. Like, don't get me wrong, I agree. There are definitely people out there who just get shat on for no... Like, if you tell people, like, oh, I don't really care for the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, and then people shit down your throat because you don't like the greatest video game that Hod Towered has ever made, then, you're just a fucking heathen.
Yeah.
Shit like that. That's not okay. I don't care for Skyrim. I don't get it. It's meh to me. But I know, like, say someone like Dylan, it's like his favorite fucking video game, period. Different strokes for different folks. It's that sort of thing where people just forget, it can be really summed up really simply. It's preference. People prefer this, people prefer that. Just leave it alone. It's like, you can discuss it, but just don't be a dick about it.
I get you. I get you. Actually, well, before we change topics, it's about time to change topics, but I feel like something that'd be fun to do because you brought it up about like just people. Oh, like well, we all brought it up in a way, like people not enjoying things even if they're accepted pretty widely. Why not do something that could be really fucking stupid, but I feel like it would be fun? How about all three of us say a take that we personally believe, not a joke take, a take we personally believe that could get us some heat because it kind of goes against the popular opinion. Let's give our dumpster fire takes on one thing before we go to the
I
next topic.
fucking love The Last Jedi. Kill yourselves.
I
You finished kind of strong there.
I think that, well, since Dylan brought up a Star Wars one, I think Star Wars fans are completely incompetent and don't know what they want.
Yes.
Because what they want, they got. They got a trilogy that was a lot like the original trilogy in a lot of ways, and then they bitched and complained about it. So no one deserves another Star Wars movie, and Disney isn't doing that bad. You're just a whiny brat.
I feel like that's less of a trash take, more of a fact. But
yes, it is well, it's a trash take because people are going to be pissed that I defended the sequels, even sort of. So
hey, look,
other ones,
episode
Elder
7
Scrolls
and
is
8
boring.
aren't bad.
Elder Scrolls is boring. Sorry, I can't get into it. And let's see what else is there. Oh yeah, Pokemon bad.
Pokemon the entirety, just
No, but it's just to me, it's not that fun.
fair enough. Fair enough. And for me, this is one that Logan and Dylan know of a lot, and we've had plenty of discussion about it in the past. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyway.
Marvel bad.
Not Marvel bad. Marvel's okay. They're pretty good. I do enjoy their movies, a lot of them. So,
Okay, I'm sorry.
except one, and one that a lot of people enjoy. I think Captain America: Civil War is shit. Fucking hate that movie. It's trash.
You're trash, Brock.
We're gonna move past that now. And no, we will not elaborate on these opinions. At least in this episode. I don't know. Maybe later. But not this episode. We're a little bit busy with not doing that. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next contestant on the show of what the fuck. Pretty sad overall, but God, this has been a downer. At least on the whole.
I don't think it helps.
past
I don't
midnight.
think it helps. We're recording at 1:22 a.m. currently.
That might also do it. I mean, come on, we're night people, right?
I mean, to a degree, but I mean, the problem with night is it's quiet. So then there's nothing to drown
The
out.
voices get loud.
Yes.
All right.
I love nighttime.
So the number is 3.
Shit, I'm 3. Damn, I don't know if I really have a topic per se. We talked about it a little bit. Really, the only thing I've been doing lately is marathoning Kenobi, and it's just a bunch of Star Wars shit. Okay, let's get the topic on video games then. So, I went over to Nate's today before work, and we hung out for a little bit, and we played the Episode 1 game, Jedi Power Battles. And I was telling Nate that while this game isn't amazing by any means, it's very interesting because there was the Phantom Menace movie, and then there was a game based on that movie. And then like a year later, like in 2000 or something, they released another game based on Phantom Menace, only it's really odd because now you have a bunch of characters in the game that weren't in the film that you can play as, and you just go through the same levels but as different characters. It's co-op, and you're fighting droids and all that. And I've always wondered why they didn't do that for, like, other Star Wars movies. Like, why didn't we have a Jedi Power Battles 2 or 3? It's probably because the first one didn't do very well. But the concept, the idea was really cool. So, I guess what I'm asking is, was there ever a game that you guys played, good or bad, that had an extremely interesting and cool concept that just never got revisited for whatever reason?
For me, it's not a good example because I know that the game rectified it now. Like, I know it's actually not a bad game, but on release, it was garbage, right? Okay, so the game is No Man's Sky, and I'm pretty sure that you've at least heard some of it, right, guys?
I know,
Yeah,
some
I know
about
they-
it.
I think
Yeah.
everyone knows what No Man's Sky is nowadays.
Yeah, so in its infancy, when it first came out, No Man's Sky was a game that I thought was going to be super cool. And still to this day, the concept is awesome. And I feel like it is actually a really good game now. I hear it's a really good game after they made all the adjustments to it and such like that. Like, they added content, they made the game a game. But whenever I first got the game, though, and it was like in its early stages, it was awful. Like, point blank, No Man's Sky before like the massive updates and stuff they added was fucking terrible. That game sucked, dude. But it was so cool though. Like, that game was carried on concept alone for the first little bit that I played it, because there was nothing to do. All you can really do is to go to trading posts and trade some minerals or whatnot and find fucking these little totems or whatever and get one word at a time of alien languages. So you couldn't even trade with aliens until you figured out their stupid language by looking at a stone and learning a word at a time. And all you could really do is maybe get a new ship at like a starship base or something, and then just go to another freaking universe, like another galaxy, and then go to more planets, and then eventually get to the center of the universe. Like, having fully generated planets that were all unique, and you could discover your own planets. That's cool. That's really cool. Interdimensional, like, space travel, or like, yeah, dimensional, yeah, like you know, star, like, traveling light years a second, like, you know, hyperdrive and shit. That's cool. But there was nothing to do in that base game, and it was awful. Like, I'm pretty sure you had to have an online connection to play it. I don't think a single person found another other player when the game first came out, even though that was the
that game's
idea.
multiplayer?
Huh?
That game's multiplayer?
I think the concept was it was just supposed to be all players were going around a single, like, mega server at once, and they could find each other in different solar systems on different planets.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think it worked. Like, people
No.
made, like, there was this massive effort for, like, two streamers, I think. I can't exactly remember. They made a massive effort to try to find each other. And they did, technically. They found the exact planet with the exact geometry, like, everything and all that they were on, but they didn't see each other.
Oh, so yeah, it just straight up didn't work.
Just didn't fucking work.
It's like Journey, but without the fun. Okay.
Yeah. But, like...
They charge like $60 for that game now.
Yeah, it was
Sky. Like, now that it's like popular again and it's actually doing well, like, they actually are charging full price for the game again. Like,
Yeah.
it used to be like $10 and now it's like $60 again. It's like, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, that's the annoying part. I do want to play No Man's Sky again because I do know that it's really good now, but I just don't want to pay for it again. But yeah, I feel like if No Man's Sky never left its concept phase like it did and actually become successful, that would have been a huge one for me. It's like, God, that game was so cool in concept. But it was realized eventually, I think. Again, I just hear it's good, never played it. But that would have been the one for me. One that's legit, though, I really don't got anything for you. Maybe the Resident Evil thing that they had going, like that multiplayer for, was it 3 Remake, I think?
Oh, yeah, Resistance.
Yeah.
I think there was potential there, but they dropped it.
Yeah, Capcom is
they
known for
didn't.
dropping shit like that. They're really easy, so that kind of sucks.
Who knows what the hell the next multiplayer thing is actually gonna do good or not. That PvP game looks shoddy at best, and I'm pretty sure they barely show any footage of that nowadays. It's still not available, I don't believe.
Yeah, I have access to it when it's done because I own Resident Evil 8.
Same. What about you, Dylan? You have any games in mind?
The two that would come to mind is, I guess, Force Unleashed not getting a third game, because they definitely were like, I mean, they kind of left the ending ambiguous, but I think it leaned more towards like, this will be followed up again, and unfortunately it wasn't. And the other one would probably be, honestly, Marvel's Avengers.
Oh, yeah. That one hurts.
It's heartbreaking. It really is.
We still play that game. We still play that game a lot, despite the fact that no one likes it. But
It's a fun game.
It's genuinely fun.
It is
It's a fun game. Let people enjoy things. Shit, let us enjoy that game because it's a good game. But just
Don't play
God,
Hulk, though.
We're not getting into that now.
think-
We're not doing that. You didn't get your topic, so you're not gonna piss me off.
Yeah,
this episode.
I know. Silence me all you want.
Wait, I'm sorry. What did Dylan say?
I said don't play Hulk though.
Oh God, yeah.
Uh,
Do you want to go deeper into those, Dylan, or are
Um,
you just gonna leave it at that? Since
So for Force Unleashed, it's like, from my memory, because it's been quite a while since I played Force Unleashed 2. From what I remember, it basically ends with the Starkiller clone trying to track down Juno, who gets captured by Boba Fett for Vader.
I thought you said Jack. It's like he's trying to jack the original off. It's like, Jesus Christ!
No,
oh my god.
I'm sorry.
So that's how the game ends, and I think I think for how beloved those games are, that it deserved and should have gotten a final installment to like fully wrap up Starkiller's story, as well as some of the other characters,
Right.
And I just think it's disappointing because Force Unleashed is genuinely, I mean, is the writing like super great? No, but it's one of the most like enjoyable and fun gameplay Star Wars games I've ever played.
Well, the cool thing about Force Unleashed 1, can't speak for 2, I never played it, but the cool thing about at least the Wii version of the original Force Unleashed is that it is the most video gamey Star Wars game.
Yes.
You do shit that should not even arguably be possible. And that's why some people are happy it's not canon anymore, because Starkiller legitimately should have fucking killed Vader and the Emperor and then took over the entire fucking universe with how powerful
Yeah.
it was. Like, it was
That's
just
the thing.
fucking
Honestly,
bullshit how
probably.
powerful it was.
Starkiller he was fan fiction, the character. It was,
And we loved him for it because
Yeah.
it was fucking awesome.
but I think
but
what would
it
be
was-
cool. It's like
Yeah.
having it as a what if story, though. I think would be nice with a third Capcom
Star
game
Wars
as a
would
what
benefit so much just doing that shit right there. What if scenario? We need what if. We need Marvel's what if, but with Star
We
Wars.
really,
I
really
and
want-
like now,
I want Qui-Gon in the age of the fucking Empire.
the Clone Wars
I mean, that's
and the
it.
Empire.
Yeah,
But
both.
he may not live to see the Empire. Honestly, He was already
Probably
kinda
not, but I do want Qui-Gon in the Clone Wars.
Here's
I don't
the
know
thing.
if we would have to do some shit. We have to kill Obi-Wan for that, but I just want Qui-Gon. I
That-
want more Qui-Gon, dude.
Here's the thing. I think the reason Qui-Gon the Empire doesn't work is if Qui-Gon had lived, I don't think the Empire would have happened.
I don't think Anakin would have turned evil. I still think there would have been a Clone War,
Oh,
which
yeah.
Qui-Gon definitely would have left the Jedi Order at that point. He would have never stayed with the Order if they allowed a war to happen. I don't think he would have turned evil. I just think he would have been like kind of like Ahsoka and just sort of abandoned the
It
Order.
would be a great what if for the Clone Wars. Like, imagine this as a what if. Like, Maul doesn't get cut in half at the end of episode 1. Basically, they fight to a stalemate. Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon escape. And then, when the Clone War begins, Maul is still Palpatine's apprentice. And then, what if Dooku and Qui-Gon are both just like, alright, fuck you, Jedi Order, and they leave? And then, what if they don't be Sith, but, they try to right the wrongs happening in the galaxy because of the Clone War? That would be
Right.
fucking dope as hell.
Yeah, I mean, we could go on forever about what if scenarios
Oh,
in
yeah.
Star Wars and Star Wars discussion. We need to just do just a bunch of random Star Wars concept discussion at some point.
Yeah, just
But-
a big old, just like a fuck the format episode, which those seem to be the most fun ones.
Did you want to talk about Avengers deeper, Dylan, or do you want to?
I want to talk about Avengers more.
I definitely
we got
think
time to fill.
Okay. I know that. I had more games in mind, but I didn't want to cut Dylan off. That's why. I was
So, like, Avengers, like, obviously, the two, like, all of us play it here. For the audience, who aren't as familiar with the Avengers game, obviously you play as different rosters of the Avengers. Now, it's not like one-to-one of the MCU, obviously. Like, there's still a lot of the same characters, but there are ones that, like, either aren't in the MCU or just now debuting, like in the case of Miss Marvel. And it's a really good concept, because, you can play with friends and go on missions and shit. It's like, there's no other game on the market I can think of where I can be running around as Thor and Nathan can be Hulk and Logan can be Iron Man and we, like, fight fucking Abomination. But the problem...
Or just split up, taking up different squads
Yeah.
of enemies in different areas of a level.
Yeah, but the problem
Shit like
comes
that.
in with the fact that, like, Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix just refuse to like put in the effort to really see the potential and like utilize the potential of that game.
I think Crystal Dynamics is trying. Honest to God. My heart goes out to Crystal Dynamics because Square Enix is being really shit to them right now about the game. They're
Yeah.
pouty, and it's annoying.
It was their idea to put the microtransactions in the game. And if you ever actually you want a really good video to explain what went wrong with that game, you guys familiar with Matt McMuscles? He
I've
makes
heard.
this video series called What Happened. He's like a blue skeleton as an animated character that tells the story. Kind of like how Saber Sparks uses an animated version of himself.
Yeah.
And he does a very apparently Crystal Dynamics. There were 4 separate divisions, 4 different developmental teams that were working on Avengers at the same time, making different games. One team thought it was a single player experience. One team thought it was a multiplayer co-op experience. And the other team were like, oh, it's like Destiny, where it's a grind. And then I don't even know what the hell the 4th one was doing. Like, it was that bad. There was 0 communication. And then COVID hit, shattered the world in half. So not only that, they also had to be even more remote. The game was rigged from the start, basically.
Yeah.
Because Square Enix was really adamant about making it a very microtransaction heavy game, which it kind of is, because of the cosmetics. And that's where most of the budget ends up going, sadly. And it turns this game into like this game that can be so much fun, but you do everything in that game in like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a very repetitive gameplay loop. Now, granted, again, I feel like Crystal Dynamics is trying. They are still putting the work in. They're still adding content. Honestly, the best part of that game is the Claw Raid. And that came out pretty recently, actually.
This past November.
Yeah, and it is fucking awesome, dude. Like, they need to add more raids, because that is, like, the highlight of that game, bar none.
And I'm excited to see more of the characters. I'm glad we're still getting characters.
Yeah.
They don't get... It's the last 2 characters haven't gotten their own campaigns or anything, which is a little disappointing.
Spider-Man's also a whole entire shit show.
That's who I'm referring to as well, yeah. But,
Yeah.
Jane Foster's Thor is not getting our story campaign either, or a location, which is disappointing because me and Dylan really wanted Asgard in the
Asgard
game.
would be so cool. Which that's the thing is, like, even, like, the new added characters, another problem is, like, the devs are not communicating with the community at all. Like, there's, like, speculation and rumors that have some credence of the next characters getting added, but they haven't really been communicative with the community.
They got rid of roadmaps because what I think happened is Square Enix may have cut the budget. So I think things are running like way slower. I think is the biggest problem because they already said they're not doing the roadmap.
Yeah.
So
and that's the thing. Like, I understand this isn't 100% Square Enix's fault. I understand that. I'm gonna go on a limb and say it's 80% their fault though. Still, Jesus Christ.
I can agree with that.
And you know what? This fucking hurts. I'm gonna be honest. It hurts because I like Square Enix. I like them a little bit less now, like a bit less than I would like to even admit. They're being such fucking pricks about this, and it is so hard to see.
I think
like Square Enix makes such good games, dude. And all of a sudden, they're just being real divas about this bullshit. And, like, they really also did this. They did this right after they announced that they were supporting, like, NFTs and shit like that. It's like, God, give me the double whammy, dude.
Oh, yeah, it sucked. And one of the things I think would have been great for Avengers is that they go for this, like, Destiny-style power level scaling for the missions. If we just had, like, a big world to explore... like, how you go to the helicarrier and you can choose a location? Wouldn't it be cool if we just, like, were able to go in those locations in general and just explore the entirety of it? Like, let's explore the entirety of Jersey City. Let's explore the entirety of the snowy tundra. Just a big open world for all the Avengers to fly around, mess around in, and beat up enemies. Kind of like a mixture between Destiny and Dying Light, where you're just in this big open world with a bunch of random things to do. And you can go kick ass with your friends, or you can split up and kick ass in different areas, do some side quests and shit. Like, making it a bit more of an open game, I think would have done it a lot of favors on the multiplayer side of things. Because, I've heard legitimate praise being given to the game's main campaign. That it's a fine game. I think it was one of the Brain Scratch members on Brain Scratch Comms talked about it. It's like, the single player was great. The multiplayer is not very interesting. And it's like, yeah, if you don't have friends to play with, I completely agree. Like, the grind of the big bulk of this game is multiplayer grinding. And that's all you're doing. You're playing the same 6 missions over and over and over again. But if you were like in a big world, like the draw of Destiny or even GTA in a way, just to add another game to compare it to, where there's stuff to do, and it's grindy, but there's a lot to do, and there's activities you can do with your friends. Like GTA, you do heists, you can do like car sales, you can do all kinds of different like businesses like weed and cocaine. You can run a
And all
nightclub.
within the open world as well.
Yeah, and in Destiny, I mean, what the hell all can you do in Destiny? You got a couple campaigns to go through. You got all these different planets, side quests.
You got an open world to explore and just go little side events with random online players and shit like
and
that.
a decent amount of raids. I remember we played a Destiny 2 raid one time when I played the game with you, and like that, it took us like 3 hours to beat because that boss was a bitch. And
Yeah, like Destiny is honestly like, a couple of issues on the side because Destiny has its own barrel problems, but it's a really good game, especially Destiny 2. With the DLCs and stuff, Destiny 2 is an amazing game. I actually really love that game, and I feel like the grindy, just go do a couple of the same missions a lot and keep getting better gear and stuff is much more supplemented by the extra side content to do, and the gameplay loop itself is just always satisfying in Destiny. And you can change things up too. Of course, each class has their own different subclasses with their own ultimates and passives and shit like that. I think Avengers would have had a better chance and would have improved the gameplay loop greatly if there was a bit more you could do with the characters and the mission variety was a bit more like wacky. Like, I want some weird shit going on. Like, because everything in Avengers is just press buttons, kill shit, or kill shit, just kill the elite enemies and shit like that. I want things where it's just like, go chase something for a little while and like corner it and then have like a mini boss fight. Or like do some shit where it's like you gotta power up a generator in time by killing enemies near it. Or like having to have each Avenger in a specific spot and defend their own spot. Like split the team up and stuff like that. Do unique stuff. Because all
Bank
Avengers...
robbery.
Yeah. All
Something
of
like
things with Avengers, it's so samey and it's just repetitive. So repetitive.
Yeah, it's a shame because we talk about this all the time. Is like this concept. Who knows if it'll ever get revisited? Because there's such the gameplay itself. Like the combat is really well done, and like Iron Man alone. Like there's enough here for a solo Iron Man game. Iron Man feels amazing with the things you can do with him. The Hulkbuster, the Unibeam, the different varieties of projectiles he has. Like, it's really fun to do that, and to do that with your friends while they're fucking shit up as Thor, Hulk, Spider-Man, Black Widow, Hawkeye, whatever. That's fun as hell, and it really saddens me that this concept will probably never be revisited, and if it is, it probably won't be for a very, very long time. I love my superhero games. I really do. I really love superhero games. I love Batman Arkham. I love Spider-Man PS4. I guess I can't call it that anymore, can I? Spider-Man 2018. I love all those games. But to me, co-op enhances an experience tenfold. When I play with my friends. I love single-player experiences, and I always will. But I wish the same love and attention was given to multiplayer experiences. Co-op experiences where playing the game in co-op technically doesn't do anything different to the game. But you're playing with friends and having more fun because you're doing the same thing, but now there's 2 of you and you're just having fun. You're doing more multiplayer-centered shit. It's like the Ninja Turtles games. Or just, beat 'em ups in general. Streets of Rage. The game doesn't really change when you're playing with 2 people, but there's an element of difference there because there's a second person. The element is just a bit different because, one, there's friendly fire. You can hurt each other, screw each other up, so you have to work together. There's a bunch of constant communication going on, taking care of this enemy while he takes on the other enemy. And in Ninja Turtles, no friendly fire, but you're still just kicking ass like you were before, but now you have a friend. I want to be able to do that in a game, in a superhero game that has the budget of like Batman Arkham or Spider-Man 2018. Give me a game like that, but it's 2-player or something. Why is that so hard for developers to do? Like, what is it about? Because you look at Avengers' main campaign, the Reassemble campaign, and if it was given just a bigger budget, that campaign could have been on the level of something like Batman Arkham, or Spider-Man 2018. What game that kind of comes similar to it in a way is Guardians of the Galaxy, which was also handled by Square Enix. I don't know if they technically developed it, but they published it. I didn't finish Guardians, but like it's a linear single-player adventure, kind of like the Avengers campaign was. And
I hear it's really
there
good.
was a lot of there was good focus. The game ran at a pretty good frame rate. It was fun to play as the other heroes, and there was occasionally a mission in the campaign or two where you could play with friends, which was fine. Those were a little more samey, of course, but like if they just put this kind of effort into the multiplayer, we would have been singing a much different tune. But it's so, like Nathan said, it's samey, and it gets so generic at times. You beat up a bunch of enemies, press a few buttons, ride an elevator that's basically just a loading screen, and then you repeat the process until the mission ends. Maybe hold a point, like defend this point for a while. In the story mode, you're doing a little more interesting shit. There's still similar shit, but because it's a campaign, story-focused thing. But, like, you fly to space as Iron Man at one point. That's cool. Do shit like that. More cinematic and stuff that, like, really hypes up the players and make it feel less like you're just standing there waiting for something to happen half the time.
I feel like something weird with like modern developers, and I would say that this is definitely a worldwide thing. It's not just the North American developer thing, right? It's not a Western developer thing, I don't think. I feel like game developers don't really know how to develop a multiplayer game unless it's like a big PvP game. Like, unless it's like an MMO or like a multiplayer centered first person shooter or something like that, I don't really think developers are putting a lot of time and effort to make multiplayer experiences that aren't those genres fun. I really don't. At least it feels like it, at least. And I don't really understand.
I think when game developers make a multiplayer game, I think their idea is how long what is the longevity on this? Like they're thinking, how can we keep concept like this the idea of the longevity concept going. Like I think what is it? It's called GaaS. It's games as a service. And the game's multiplayer and stuff like that is usually not expensive or something or whatever, and it just keeps getting content added. It's kind of like, I think Dead by Daylight is technically one of those games where things just get added over time to the same game. I think the games as a service model isn't very healthy for like the gaming market because everyone does it now with multiplayer. It can't just be a finished product with multiplayer as an option. It has to be this weird thing where like, okay, the game's out and now we need to keep pumping money out of this. I think it kind of shoots itself in the foot after a while. And I think that's the reason GTA has been so successful and just never dies, is because, well, one is GTA, and two, it's the game as a service model. They keep adding all these things for free, and more people buy this singular game instead of us having to make another game. I think Avengers is kind of falling into that for some reason. I don't know why they went for the games as a service model. It's pretty popular in Japan. That's probably why Square Enix did that. But
I mean, the Japanese market is no stranger to gacha games. It's
they
what
love
they
that
do.
shit. Yeah, it's very popular. Games as a service, microtransactions, all that shit's pretty common in Japan. Like big
That's
time.
why they take the mobile game market much more seriously than we do.
Yeah. But with that said, though, this kind of makes me, knock on wood, I'm really hoping Batman Gotham Knights is good.
Hopefully, yeah. God.
I'm really hoping
really hope it is, but I don't.
I've seen like the latest gameplay trailers have shown me a little more promise than when they initially revealed the gameplay, because it seemed a little grindy at first. Like you could already tell things were going to be super tanky and it was going to be kind of a grindy game. The later gameplay trailers they've shown in the recent weeks, to me, have shown a bit more promise. It looks a bit more similar to Arkham now without being exactly the same thing. I'm just hoping it's like not a shameful imitation and it is still fun. That's all
Yeah.
I'm hoping for. But it being limited to 2 players may help that. I know that's a little disappointing because I'd imagine the 3 of us would love to play the game all together, but I'm hoping that means if Gotham Knights is successful and it ends up being what I think it's going to be, I hope that changes, like, just co-op games in general for the better in the industry. It probably won't, but man can dream. I want superhero games to actually be able to do that kind of shit again. To be multiplayer and also, be good.
Yeah, like
Because
I want to
ahead.
return to form to games like the Gears of War franchise and the classic Halo games, shit like that. Like an entire massive campaign that has its cinematic points and has its bits and pieces that are really fun and have a lot of effort and budget put into them, but with co-op. Like, I want that again. I want games. I want like more Borderlands games and shit like that. Maybe less Gearbox because but more shit like that. You know what I mean?
I think that, yeah, exactly. Because don't get me wrong, I'm not advocating for less single player experiences. I'm definitely not advocating for that. But like when it comes to stuff like the superhero genre and just these big AAA titles in general that end up being legendary single player video games like Last of Us 2 and shit like that, like I'm good on single player games for a little bit, like where are the multiplayer games that are fucking changing the industry again, like that, like Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War, Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 8, the Resident Evil remakes, fucking what else, Last of Us 2, what was another big single player game, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, like all
Did you
great
say God of
video.
War? I don't know if you did.
God of War, yeah, the new one, God of War, all great games, all fantastic video games. Can I get a version of any of those games that are co-op, please? Like, can I have a Breath of the Wild where it's 2-player, a Mario Odyssey that's 2-player, like, or even more? Like, can developers make that happen?
It'd be nice.
Batman Arkham, Spider-Man, multiplayer, please? Please? Like, it doesn't have to be. I'm not saying, like, oh, that never should have been released if it isn't multiplayer. I'm not that kind of person. I love a great single-player experience, but the industry has this weird, stupid vice grip on microtransactions when it comes to anything multiplayer related now, and that pisses me off.
I think it's easy to remedy. Just make it a good game in single player or multiplayer, and you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Just make it good both ways. That's fucking all you need.
There are more games I wanted to bring up in terms of I wish there was more of this type, like kind of missed potential type of thing. But I know we're running out of time here, so I'll just mention them and won't go too deep into it. Epic Mickey was one. I know it got a sequel, which I have still not played, but I thought the idea of Epic Mickey bringing like, unknown Disney characters and shit like that together was really cool, and they should have went full bore with Evil Mickey. Just saying that right now. And another game I really want that I feel like the industry is really missing out on right now is pirate games. Like Sea of Thieves is kind of just fucking everyone in the ass right now in terms of being the only pirate game out there on the market. And I want to play that. I want us to play Sea of Thieves just to see if it's really fun now, like everyone claims it is. But I remember when me and my little sister Morgan, we played Disney Infinity and we played the Pirates of the Caribbean expansion. That shit's fun. Like you can play as Captain Jack and Barbossa and other pirates characters, and you sail the 7 seas. You go to different islands, you fight goons, and you get treasures. Like, this is fucking awesome. It's like, there needs to be another game like this. I want more pirate games. I get pirates are not good people, and they're evil and shit. They rape, pillage, and plunder. But I want to be a pirate. I want to be a fun pirate. I want to be Captain Jack.
Just fucking, like, just go all in. Like, make a full-on, like, Pirates of the Caribbean game, dude. Like, make like a fucking One Piece game if you want about like sailing the 7 seas and shit. I mean, granted, the recent One Piece game, Pirate Warriors, like 4, I think.
Those are Muso games. Those are like Dynasty Warriors.
I don't even really watch One Piece. Now my brother loves it. It's his game, and he just has me play it with him. But that's just fun, and it's not even really a pirate game. It's a Muso game. But
yeah,
God, it's just a pirate game would be really cool. I want
a Kingdom Hearts Muso game.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be really good.
Kingdom
actually.
Hearts is prime candidacy for that shit. Anything to add, gentlemen?
I think I'm good.
Nah, I think I've said all I need to for now.
Okay, I guess the last thing to say is that Internet Explorer died.
Oh, it did.
Finally.
Yeah.
That did happen.
It took forever to fucking die. Yeah,
Oh, shit.
August 16th, 1995 to June 15th, 2022, and it is currently June 19th, technically. So, yeah, it died just a couple days ago. I feel like
Rip.
it should be commemorated. It is still trying to get into Area 51.
Yes.
Um,
As much as we shit on Internet Explorer, I feel like it's it's a big part. It's a big part of the internet still.
hey, we all started there.
Yeah.
And then we migrated to Chrome.
But
Yeah.
much like
Chrome is just an extension.
this podcast, much like Internet Explorer, its time has come to an end.
Yeah. Not permanently
This is
like
our last
Internet
episode.
Explorer.
No,
Oh, damn.
I just mean like
13 episodes. We had a good run, boys.
Yeah, what if you just like, Ayo, episode 13? That's it, we're good.
You hear a distant gunshot.
that would be pretty fucking funny. Anyway, now we'll see you again in the next week or two.
Yes.
I think we got a good plan for. I mean, we're gonna try to get the schedule lined out. But
Yeah.
as
We're going to
always,
get
you
back the
guys-
consistency, hopefully. We're going to buckle down. We're going to get more episodes recorded. We promise.
Don't worry, the audience will forget about this shit in like
Yeah.
a week.
We got a new subscriber. A new subscriber. I don't know who you are, but you're awesome. I don't know if you'll even listen this far, but if you do, you're awesome. Thank you. The subscriber that subscribed in the last few days, so let's say from like June the 15th to June the 19th, anywhere in between that time frame, you know who you are. Thank you.
Okay, all right, let's cut it.
We'll see you guys next time, and be sure to check us out on Twitter, at Bloomfeld Pod, and you can find our personal Twitters. It's the only Twitter accounts that the podcast is following. It's in the About Me page on the YouTube channel. All that good shit. Deets are in the descriptions. Yada yada. Blah blah blah. Bye bye, everybody.
Thank you for listening.